going to start the show right off the hop. He couldn't join us yesterday. He was a little busy touring the flood devastation around the province, but it is time for Premier's Picks here on the Green Zone right off the top. Premier Brad Wall, but before we get to the ultimate distraction in our universe, which is sports mainly, let's get to the reality of the situation. Just how devastated is it out there, in especially eastern Saskatchewan, where you were yesterday?
The only thing more remarkable, Jamie, than the amount of water around and the damage is the response of Saskatchewan people that I got to see firsthand and continues today. We're sort of in this mixed phase of, both recovery and still response, because waters are still at least rising, probably peaking today at Crooked and Round. We'll probably, the Round Lake break a record for a peak level. At Crooked Lake, get real close to breaking the 1955 record, and this on top of what happened at 210. So, and then there's Last Mountain. There's still some issues, certainly, in terms of response. And so, the province has emergency teams with the sandbags and those big water tubes and teams to help people out. Most of that now is transitioning to recovery, but it is it's hard to describe the amount of water out there. There's some room for hope, though, because obviously it's receding. Folks in Melville that were long-term care residents are moving back to their home, which is right adjacent to the new hospital there, and the hospital's back in business. So, slow but sure, things will get back to normal, and we're recovering as we always do in this province, and we've got some disaster assistance there for that as well. So, but it was quite a thing to see.
Mr. Premier, you talked about the resiliency of the people. What has struck you the most when you watch how they're trying to recover?
Well, just that, actually. It's sort of Saskatchewan people are being unsurprisingly amazing, if that makes any sense. It's just after yesterday, I was sort of real mixed feelings to know what people are going through, but just the feeling that I had for Saskatchewan people all over again. Not that we don't have it every day, but boy, it's on full display right now. A couple of quick stories. Carnduff is helping out neighboring Gainsborough. Not one of those folks had to use the evac center to sleep from Gainsborough. That community was evacuated. They all found billets or campers in driveways at the evacuation center in Carnduff. They put out a call out for clothes in 15 minutes. They had to ask people to stop bringing clothes. 15 minutes. I think that was what I was told yesterday. Same with the food. They wanted to have food available. People were camping in driveways or staying with strangers or friends in Carnduff, and sure enough, they had so much food they were just giving it away. People would just come and grab what they needed. People are donating. Oil companies are coming through with vac trucks in a huge way. Mosaic's given $50,000, I think, just here today to the Red Cross. This is, this province has come together and rallied around the flood areas. And I don't know, we should all be pretty proud of that. I sure am.
Absolutely. Seeing it on, especially through social media and the call-out. And, we can go back to the football game. We saw 19,000 people in the stands because there's a lot of season ticket holders weren't even able to get from their roads, from their houses to the game, and there was a lot of those people who would have rather been watching football last weekend, but they were dealing with their own disaster in their basements, and you saw it early during that game as the rains just kept on coming down, and that was the brunt of it. But now it is a relief to see the forecast, isn't it, Premier, on the amount of sun in our province to really help in the relief.
It really is. One other thing that's going well for us right now, touch wood, is not a lot of forest fires currently on in northern Saskatchewan. So we've been able to redeploy. We've got great rapid response teams that respond to flood disasters, all disasters. But, in an event like this, there's just not enough of them. So we're redeploying wildfire fighters to come down and both help man the comm center, the emergency center in Regina, but also get on the front lines. And just hats off to all the provincial workers who are doing this. Also, local officials, volunteers. It's quite remarkable. And for what it's worth, in Melville at the evacuation center, at the makeshift hospital, at the registration desk, the volunteers said that. By the way, everyone's in great spirits, right? Nobody's complaining about anything. And the volunteers were happy, but they did say, it'd be really good is if the riders could deliver a bit of a win here this weekend coming up.
Yeah, it was as we move to, as I call sports, it's the ultimate distraction when things are, and it's amazing how people can rally around a team when things happen. And it was nice to see the way they started the season, spanking the Tiger Cats the same way they spanked them at the Grey Cup in November. But now it's on to Ricky Ray and the Toronto Argonauts. It is Premier's Picks with Premier Brad Wall. And I just, as an update as the standings after week one, Premier Wall, you're in the lead. You only got 2 right last week, but that was better than myself and Fake Gainer with 1. And Gary Nickel, he's a little verklempt trying to get over an offer on the start of the season.
How do you start at offer?
You guys,
it's hard to do, even with upsets.
It's my signature move. It's what I do.
Yeah, it's your.
Just like a wrestler, it's my signature move. I basically gave you the razor's edge, and now I'm going to finish you off.
But the razor's edge actually was pretty effective. Week 0-4, I'm not sure that's a move as opposed to just bad.
Gary, your signature move is the fetal position. We all know that. Crawled up on the floor in the corner.
Stop.
It's George. Yeah, it's George Foreman after rope-a-dope is over. That's sort of the position.
Oh, you guys. But hey, we all know I've been here many times. I'm very comfortable being the underdog. So I just wanted to make sure I got the ground laid out, and now my plan is coming into effect. You just wait.
And Fake Gainer is in, and he's already made his picks for the week. So he is replacing the Gnome this year, but Fake Gainer's in.
I just wanted to say, because of the rainfall, and I was watching a bit of the game, certainly on television, but didn't catch Gary and Scott's new show. I understand it went really well. It's pretty good stuff. You had a few, some listeners during the game and that whole thing, and that's great. What's the over and under in terms of the number of fights that Scott and Gary are going to have, say by week 3 or 4? Because that's got to happen. That's just.
Well, they're going to talk. They're going to talk best sporting video games this weekend. So there's one for sure.
This is true.
And by the way, it's Tiger Woods Masters Edition.
No,
That's what it is.
It's
Tecmo's Super Bowl. Thank you, Mr. Freeman. We can finally agree on something.
Yeah, and all you had to do was play the Oakland Raiders because nobody could stop Bo Jackson.
No, you're not allowed.
Marcus
The first
Allen,
rule.
or Marcus Allen. You guys have all seen that outstanding YouTube video of Bo Jackson running the field about 5 times on Tecmo Bowl before he finally scores.
I made that video, Mr. Premier. I'm not gonna lie, but they have the pro tournaments now where you can go and play like actual Tecmo Bowl tournaments. And the rule is, and this is what I love about it, you pick your opponent's team, so nobody ever gets Bo. That's how you do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not bad. Back in the day, we had some Tecmo Bowl tournaments, I recall, way back when Tecmo Bowl was new and the technology seemed like it would never be surpassed.
I had one last weekend, so I'm still keeping the dream alive.
That's excellent.
Well, shall we get to the picks, gentlemen?
Sure.
Everybody's ready? Done your research, Gary? Everything's trying to get. It's only up from here after an offer to start the season.
If by research you mean has he got his dartboard and darts up, I think that the answer is probably yes.
Got my lucky coin out.
Ottawa is back in the league as they take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers tonight. Back in the nation's capital has a team back to support the Red Blacks against the Blue Golds tonight. Premier, who do you have?
I think this is going to be closer than anyone knows just because of Henry Burris. But lack of defense for Ottawa, and we'll give Drew Willie one more win, at least.
Oof.
Winnipeg.
Well, I mean, how much deeper can my hole go, you guys, right?
Okay, you're telegraphing it here, Gary.
Yeah, I am. I'm taking Ottawa. Let's go with this. Let's follow Smiling Hank and see where he takes us.
Fake Gainer's also taking Ottawa. I'm going with the Premier with Winnipeg on that one. BC and Montreal, Premier Wall.
No, I like the Lions. Montreal just looked like a hot mess.
And you know how I feel about hot messes, and Montreal owes me one, so I'm going to take the Owls.
You know the point is of this whole competition, Gary, is to win, right?
Hey, you guys, it's week 2. Nobody's an expert during week 2. All right, let's let the cards play out here.
It's just he's doing the George Costanza thing. He's going against every good intuition he's ever had.
And Hamilton, who practiced in Saskatchewan for most of the week, off to Edmonton to take on the Eskimos. Premier Wall, who do you have there?
I'm going to take Hamilton in a bounce back.
Man, oh man.
There you go. The door's wide open, Gary. Just walk through it.
Oh, but see, now that you said that, I'm going to have to take Hamilton and ride with you. Switch it up a little bit. Let's get stanza this, just a
Oh,
touch.
by the way, I have BC with the Premier, and Fake Gainer has Montreal. And on this pick, I am taking Edmonton. Fake Gainer's also taking the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
So Fake Gainer is right on my back, eh?
And
I have to carry him around.
Actually, I think you checked out his picks on Twitter yesterday and figured that was a good idea.
I did not.
As we go to Saskatchewan and Toronto, Premier Wall.
Riders by 7 again. I picked 7 last week, and I was late. 7 this week. I think Toronto will be mad, but it won't be enough.
Gary.
Well, since you just gave me the bright idea of blaming my terribleness at this game on someone else, I'm going to assume that Fake Gainer took the Riders. So I will also take the Riders.
There you have it. We're all taking Saskatchewan in Week 2 against the Toronto Argonauts. As thus ends another week of Premier's Picks. Premier Brad Wall, I know back at it today. You've been constantly tweeting up updates from around the province on your Twitter account from the province. And I know it's been a tough week in the province, and hopefully we can celebrate a win on Saturday.
We will do that, and things will get better. And by the way, happily in Saskatchewan, we've got the resources to meet a lot of these challenges, and we'll do just that. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you very much to Premier Brad Wall. Back again next week, and we'll celebrate another 0 for week for Gary Nickel, right? Oh, no, he'll get 1 right because he took the Riders over the Toronto Argonauts.